Hi guys, it's Lena, and I'm here today with a movie review of Ant-Man, actually. And I hope you don't mind this grumple butt sitting on me, but every time I try to put him down, he just crawls right back up. But anyways, Ant-Man, the latest release by Marvel, and one of the first ones in quite a while that isn't a sequel. I mean, there was Guardians of the Galaxy last year, which I loved and I absolutely adored as soon as I saw it in theaters. And this one, it was good. But I will get into it. There will be spoilers ahead. So it's been out for about 2 weeks now in North America. So I'm assuming most of the people who have seen it or who are worried about spoilers have either already seen it or have clicked out by now. So anyways, it was okay. I mean, as I told a friend of mine online, it was good, but it wasn't Guardians of the Galaxy good. Like, there was no one character that just, you know, tugged at the heartstrings or constantly made me laugh my butt off or anything like that. So I mean, there was Scott Lang, that's the main character, his friend Luis, the one that picks him up from jail, where he's like, yeah man, my girlfriend dumped me, my mom died, my dad got deported, but I got the van. That dude was hilarious, but he's not the same as, like, you know, Groot or Rocket or even like Star-Lord or somebody like that. So, you know, the funny parts were good. That whole little group of friends that Scott Lang had with him, the little Eastern European guy and the black guy that were all like his little thief buddies with him, they were hilarious, don't get me wrong. And the fight with Falcon, which I didn't even know about until I went in there, because this was the first Marvel movie where I've just completely avoided spoilers, because the only thing that I knew going in was the end credits scene, which I will get to at the end. Well, the post-credits scene, which I will get to at the end. That was the only thing that I knew about. But other than that, I went in knowing nothing. And that was actually kind of fun, because usually, even when I try to avoid spoilers in Age of Ultron, somebody spoils me on Instagram or something like that, because nobody can keep their mouth shut anymore. But anyways, so like I said, I didn't know about Scott Lang in the Ant-Man costume doing his little fight with Falcon, because he had to break into the new Avengers place, which was apparently an old storage shed for Howard Stark, and they turned it into the new Avengers headquarters. So that was fun. I know that they had to pick Falcon because Falcon was the only one that wouldn't just, like, you know, rip Ant-Man in half somehow. But it was still really fun. I will say though, this movie had a lot more emotion going on in it than I expected. Like, I will say that the one kind of relationship or whatever that was really, I believed in, was Scott Lang with his daughter. I think her name is Cassie. I have the synopsis up so that I can get names right and things like that. But yeah, Scott Lang and his daughter Cassie were really cute together, so that was a really good tug at the heartstrings relationship that put a lot more emotion into the film than I was expecting. But then again, it's like with Guardians of the Galaxy, you go, as soon as you go in, it's like the 1-2 gut punch of emotion of Star-Lord's mother dying of cancer. It was nothing that bad, but you know. I will say the main lady of the movie, Hope Pym, who is Jane Van Dyke and Hank Pym's daughter, so bitchy it hurt. Like, I know Marvel wants to put in more strong female characters, and I, even as a female comic book fan, I appreciate that. But they didn't have to make her so angry. Like, I get that she was mad at her dad for kind of running away from her once her mom died, which, how they revealed how the mom died was actually really sad. I will give them that. But, you know, they didn't have to make her, she was almost alienating. She was so angry for like the first almost 2/3 of the movie. And then when Hank Pym actually finally lets out what actually happened, was that she went supersonic tiny or something like that so that she could fix something. But once you do that, it's technically impossible to come back from it, although, spoiler alert, Scott Lang has to do the same thing and then comes back from it in the end. But, whew. They could have done a little bit better with Hope Pym, but I did like in the first post-credit scene that Hank actually revealed the new, God, what was the name of that? Wasp, that was her name. Hank Pym revealed an updated Wasp outfit for her because he finally, you know, came to terms a little bit with the death of his wife and how he should allow for daughter to participate more, which the whole thing was that Hank Pym sought out Scott Lang to steal stuff from his former protege, who turns out to be evil and willing to sell the Ant-Man technology to Hydra, because that's always worked out in the past. They're not like the old Hydra. They're totally like the old Hydra, you dumb shit. Might be the dumbest villain in a long time. Definitely not engaging in any way, because I will say Ultron was an evil bastard, but he was at least entertaining. Darren Cross was not entertaining at all. That's the name of the villain, and not cool at all. As far as Hank Pym goes, Michael Douglas was actually really good at it, so that was nice that they picked out somebody good. I have said from the beginning that I'm glad that they didn't go with the original Hank Pym Ant-Man to be the major Ant-Man person. Scott Lang is actually the second Ant-Man in the comics that took over after Hank Pym. I don't remember. I don't know if he retired or died at the time or what, because you know people in comics, they die all the time and then they come back for whatever reason. Michael Douglas did a really good job. And one thing I wanted to mention was I really loved one of the first scenes in the movie is in 1989, where Hank Pym comes into the higher ups of S.H.I.E.L.D., which at the time are Howard Stark, Peggy Carter, and they had some rando dude from security or something like that who winds up playing a big part later in the movie. He's the one that put the dude in contact with Hydra and everything. But comes in, you get to see, you know, Howard Stark and Peggy Carter older running S.H.I.E.L.D., and I thought that was really cool. And I wonder if some more older stuff like that will pop up in future Agent Carter series that they do in the future. I think that would be really cool. I just thought it was neat to be able to see that. And anyways, the end credits scenes, like I said, the first one was Hank Pym revealing to his daughter the new Wasp outfit, and I thought that was pretty cool. I liked Hope a lot better at the end of the movie than I did in the beginning and the middle of the movie. They had to mellow her out some, for real. And then the second post-credit scene was Captain America and the Falcon having found Bucky and had them in his custody. They couldn't contact Stark because of the Accords, as they say, but then Falcon mentions someone that can help them, referring back to Ant-Man. So the idea is that instead of a scene taking place between movies, that's actually something that's going to happen in Civil War. So I thought there was going to be more to this scene than there was, but at the same time it was kind of cool to see them that they had Bucky trapped by his arm in some kind of pressing machine. I don't know. So overall, as far as Ant-Man itself is concerned, it was a fun movie. I had a good time. This is one of the few times that I have been satisfied with their explanation as to why they don't call the Avengers or anybody else, because Hank Pym's like, I did everything in my power to keep the Ant-Man technology out of Howard Stark's hands. Why would I want it to pass into another Stark's hands? Which, for the first time, because throughout all the other movies in Phase 2, well, not Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously, but like Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, and Captain America the Winter Soldier, you're always left wondering, where are the other Avengers at? Why don't they call them? I mean, sometimes Thor's off-world, but especially as far as Civil War was concerned, everybody was around. You totally could have called them for some help, but no, you called Rando Dude X that you met like twice, which turns out to be the Falcon, duh, but I don't get it. I don't get it. But finally, maybe the people that are in charge of the Marvel movies finally heard all the complaints from people saying, why aren't they contacting the other Avengers more? Because literally it's a trailer moment when Scott Lang says, I think you need to call the Avengers, when Hank Pym's telling him all this stuff. He needs him to get this technology back out of the hands of this dude who was his protege but he thinks is evil. And turns out he's right because he's gonna sell the technology to Hydra like a jackass. It's a very standalone movie though. I don't think this is one you necessarily need to see to go see Civil War. Like obviously you need to see Age of Ultron to understand anything going on in Civil War. Or Captain America Civil War, which comes out next year. However, in this movie, you basically need to know who Ant-Man is. You need to know the very basics about it. And past that, if you want to wait for this movie to come out on video before seeing it, I don't blame you. That's what I told a friend of mine online. It's like, this is not a necessary movie to understand the Marvel continuity right now. Maybe it'll come up a little bit more in the future. I'm really not sure. Anyways, that is all. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you later. Bye!